Okay? Stay there. Do not come anywhere close to us. I'll consider you obstructing us. You can be under arrest or detained. Do you understand that? Is obstruction physical? Your ridiculous questions are so annoying. I'm not going to entertain that.
What's section 3 of
I'm
the
telling you to stay away
Canadian
from
Rights and
us.
Freedoms?
End of story.
What's section 3?
I got called a monkey today. I got called a nigga today by a white person. Come on, man. Do better.
It's terrible.
Do better. Do better, man. Do better. Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Many of you may have already seen this video that appears to show officer with knee on protester's neck. Yes, it definitely appears. And this is the CBC. I want you to note that. This is CBC, Glotsy News. Hashtag Glotsy, CBC, video appears to show. Now, if media aren't working together, why would they choose to use the exact same words? Who is telling them to use the exact same words? Appear? Appear? No, it doesn't appear. The neck didn't appear to have a knee on it. If many of you wanted to voice your displeasure, actually Toronto Police Twitter was shut down, so I contacted a few people via Twitter with some influence in different spheres, as a good public commenter does, as is the foundation of democracy. But some people just don't like the foundation of democracy, public comment. In this video, he defends police for not releasing body camera, ex-police officer, by the way, being interviewed by the mainstream media false prophet. Will they use the words appears to show? Stay tuned, citizens.
I'm sure you can appreciate that, you know, a lot of people obviously are deeply concerned about what they see in this video. And one of the parts
we saw the video
we're looking at is
we saw the video.
It appears that an officer had a knee in and around his head or neck area. It can't.
And there's the lying mainstream media right there. There's the state-run media for you right there.
That is, not only was it appears that an officer
had no, he had his knee across the guy's neck. He had his shin across his neck.
Knee in and around his head or neck area.
No, not in or around, across his neck. Plain as day.
And this is not CBC, by the way.
And quite pinpointed because there's
no. What are you talking about? Can't quite pinpoint it? That's a man's head right there. That's a man's knee across the man's neck.
Of action going on.
There's his hair right there. What's between the shoulders and the top of the hair is the neck.
But there is one point in the video that we're showing.
What are you talking about? There's his ear right there. You could.
So my point is, who are you going to trust? Are you going to trust citizen journalists or the glotsy media? Do you want to trust actual real people who are doing honest reporting, or do you want to trust the mainstream media false prophet that tells you not to believe your own eyes when it's right in front of you? Here's Al Gore's take on public discussion and the role of the media. He's glotsy proud. Let's hear what he has to say about it.
Because a free self-governing people rely on a shared base of knowledge that serves as a basis for reasoning together, collective.
Equal protection under the law doesn't exist, and equal representation doesn't exist either. Let's see what they have to say inside. Violence workers, how you doing today?
Hi there. Saying no any disruptive or
oh, freedom of speech. No freedom of speech, right?
Antisocial behavior.
Oh, antisocial. Oh, wow. So you discriminate, you know, antisocial personality disorder is a mental illness? You discriminate against the public based on mental illness? Thanks for saying that. Is it true that police killed someone at a protest recently? Toronto police? Pardon?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I haven't heard before.
Did you hear that someone got Derek Chauvined recently?
Is that an expression?
Yeah, when the police when street judges put their knee on someone's neck until death. That's Derek Chauvining.
And did that happen in Toronto?
I don't know. I'm asking you if you're aware of that. I saw a picture of Toronto violence workers doing that to a citizen, but I don't know what happened. Did he go to the hospital or?
Would you like to report something today?
Would I like to report something?
Yes.
Like what?
crime?
Yeah, actually I would. Yeah. Toronto police are guilty of hate crimes against citizen journalists. So you can go arrest Chief Demescu or whatever his name is and turn yourself in. What do you think about crimes of impunity against citizen journalists? We don't have a flag, do we? We don't have a ribbon. We don't have anything. All we have is torture and violence, and it's a worldwide issue.
Darling, I'm a community member. I'm not associated with TPS,
Okay.
and I'm not really sure why you're here.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how you're being helpful,
Okay.
and I'm not really sure how the questions you expect to have any answers for, other than just to keep spewing rhetoric. So I'm kind of like very, very confused at your presence.
Yeah, a lot of people are confused by me. Thanks for that. So, do we have a ribbon? Do we have a flag? Citizen journalists. Yeah, crimes are committed. Please stop interrupting me, lady.
I listened to her. Like, give me some respect, you know? I was nice. I listened to you. I responded. I showed that I heard exactly what you said. I don't need to let you know. I don't need to make you understand. If you just listen, maybe you would understand. I thought I made it pretty clear about crimes of impunity against citizen journalists. Maybe open your ears.
Crimes of impunity
Do me a
are...
favor. Nobody asked you to come in here.
Actually, I was invited by the Toronto police on Twitter to come in here and ask questions.
About what?
About what?
What's your question?
There was no...
And I was just asked if I wanted to report a hate crime, which I did, and then was interrupted.
Oh, about what? It just said come in and ask questions.
I'm asking.
So are you making a content-based decision of my speech?
What do you want to do?
I'd like to not be interrupted.
You're asking about ribbons?
Is there a flag or a ribbon for crimes of impunity against citizen journalists?
That I'm aware of.
No, there isn't. Is it a worldwide issue? Is it a worldwide issue that crimes against citizen journalists go unpunished?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm familiar with.
Okay, well, I'll tell you that there's a resolution in the UN that Canada co-signed
Okay.
that identifies the problem
What, the problem with journalists?
of crimes against citizen journalists being committed with impunity. And your officers do it.
Are you a citizen journalist?
I am. And your officers do it. I've been tortured by Toronto police for answers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tortured for answers. You people torture journalists for answers.
Yeah. What type of answers are they looking for?
Does it matter?
No, I was just curious.
Does it matter?
Oh, I mean, you brought it up, so I was asking you.
Does it matter? Wow. I'm glad you said no, it doesn't matter.
I didn't say that.
You did say no, it doesn't matter, yeah. I asked, does it matter? You said
Oh,
no.
okay. Well, I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what questions Toronto police torture citizen journalists to answer. It matters that they torture citizen journalists to answer questions. Don't you see that?
Yeah.
Are you at Toronto Gay Cop?
No.
Is at Toronto Gay Cop here?
No, he's not.
Damn it! I knew it was. That was my traumatic brain injury there. I know it's Toronto Queer Cop. I know that. I thought I was saying Toronto Queer Cop, but Toronto Gay Cop came out. Damn TBI. That's why I carry my camera. I don't carry my camera to get idiot police to arrest me. I'd rather not be arrested by idiot police.
How come?
Do you want to get him a message or something?
Is he gonna be here?
I don't think he's planning on.
Oh, he refused to answer my questions on Twitter, so thought I'd come here and ask. Okay, so you're not aware of the international problem of crimes of impunity against citizen journalists. So I'd assume that means you've had no training by Toronto Police Services on the issue.
With regards to journalists?
With regards to crimes of impunity against citizen journalists.
No, no training. That would be pretty niche training, to be honest with you.
Would it? What do you mean by niche?
Like, would be very specific.
Yeah, instead of ambiguous training.
Imagine basing a course on citizen journalists. Like, I don't know how many citizen journalists there is.
Not as many as there would be if you guys didn't torture us,
Okay. fair enough.
lock us up, and not prosecute or investigate people who commit crimes against us. Nearly every time I leave the house with the camera rolling, someone commits a crime against me, whether it's a member of the community or it's one of you police officers. It's not acceptable, and I'm not going to have it anymore.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you?
I am. How are you?
You are?
I am.
No, I'm asking how are you?
Oh, how am I? I was a product of divine co-creation.
So you don't want to answer my question.
How am I? Yeah, that's how I came to be. That's how I am.
Do you feel good?
Do I feel good? Yeah, I don't want to answer that. I don't want to answer that question. You're right.
Who walks around asking strangers if they feel good?
Well, feel hi. How are you? I'm doing well. How are you? Good to see you.
So what questions were you expecting citizens to ask today?
I'll talk to you outside because I just don't want you, you're raising your voice, and I think that do you want to have a discussion with me?
No,
Was I raising my voice? Really?
I don't want to go outside. I don't want you doing.
Ask you to leave
I
your
don't.
face.
Okay, I'm going to exercise my Section 2 right to freedom of the press in this building right now. You want to violate my rights? It's up to you. You want to violate my rights? It's up to you.
If you want to be arrested, I will arrest you, but I'm asking you to leave.
For what?
Put your hands behind your back. You're going to be arrested for trespassing.
Okay.
I asked you to leave, and you're telling me you don't want to leave.
Torture cuffing me.
No, they're just making sure you're safe.
Yeah.
Come outside.
Because if you weren't,
Do you have any idea on
I
you?
could take care of business.
I'm going to exercise my Section 10, 11, and 2 rights to remain silent. I demand that you do your duties under every section of 10A of Section 10. Sorry. Right?
Because you were asked to leave and you didn't, right? Now that you're outside, we're going to get some ID on you. What's that? Yep. You're going to get some ID on you, and you're going to actually.
Do you want to torture cuff me?
No. That's gonna upset you.
No, I'm
We don't need
upset you
to.
further. I'm not upset I
We
don't.
need some ID on you. Okay, where's your ID?
If that's gonna upset you further, no, that's not upset. It's not upset at all. But way to try to invent the narrative. And I'm sure the glotzy media will be happy to back up that narrative.
There's no such thing as ID. There's no such thing as ID. Yeah. So you have no ID on you? Take your hands out. Excuse me? Take your hand out.
Take my hand out of what?
I'm taking your backpack off. Leave your hand behind your back. We don't have to cuff you if it's gonna upset you that much.
So my camera is attached to the backpack. This is my first time reviewing the footage. Let's see where he decides to position the camera, if it's facing towards me, towards him, or towards the ground.
But if your behavior changes, it will. Do you have any idea on you?
So you're admitting that my behavior is fine? I told you no.
Okay, so this is facing south, and we are north of the bag, so the complete opposite direction. Another violation of my rights to instruments of media.
He exists. I told you no ID exists. It's right here, ticket. Fine. Where are you? What is the name? What's your name? What is the name? The name is the name of given at birth. Oh, my given name? Yeah. So what? I'll give you my given name.
You will?
Yep. Okay, what is it? Do you have something you wrote it down?
You didn't even have anything to write it down. The guy's just like total amygdala hijack. He's shaking like a leaf right now, guys. He's shaking like a leaf. I'm not really going to show the rest right now because that was the important part, just to see. I went there to do the job of the press. I was pressing questions. It's a public meeting about hate crimes, and and all I wanted to do was talk about crimes of impunity against citizen journalists, which are hate crimes. I guess not if you're police. I was, I didn't raise my voice. I was completely polite to everyone because I didn't want to answer that one person's question. Now I gotta leave because I don't want to answer. Are you feeling good? Come on. I get arrested because I don't want to answer. Are you feeling good? Come on.
These algorithms, they are the digital equivalent of AR-15s. They ought to be banned. They really ought to. They are the digital equivalent of AR-15s. They ought to be banned. They really ought to. They are the digital equivalent picture plan.
So we heard what glossy proud Al Gore had to say about public comment. What about when the public becomes the media? We know that Toronto police don't particularly like it, and don't particularly like it when you point out that they torture journalists.
These algorithms, they are the digital equivalent of AR-15s. They ought to be banned. They really ought to be banned. It's an abuse of the public forum. But when people are pulled down these...
Ban them. Ban citizen journalists. Ban them. Ban them. And I'd just like to clear up one thing about the press and other media of communication. So the press is just it's a tool that is an extension of speech. It was originally the printing press, which allowed a single voice to be broadcast to many people. And so press are just tools, instruments. Now, I'm not saying that all citizen journalists are great either. You really need to be discerning in yourself. And I meditate to try to find what's true and what's right. And I'll say that there's a lot of actors who talk about the plans and then actively participate. So for instance, Alex Jones will talk about the Illuminati plans and the CFR, but then he'll actively participate in the race divide, like we'll see here.
And now they're not pointing the Homeland Security apparatus at the Russians like they did in the Cold War, or the Islamists after 9/11. Now they admit that their main focus is Christian conservatives and the bitter clingers and the people that live in rural America, well, white people, I mean, it says that in the report, are the main terror threat. And so this whole apparatus of the war on terror has now been turned inwardly against the people, not just here, but also in Europe, where if someone criticizes transgenderism in the UK, they come to their house and arrest them. If a journalist does that, they come to their house and arrest them. If somebody says, I think these surveillance cameras should start getting cut down, they come to their house and they arrest them for their free speech. And so this is a global movement by the mega corporations, by the BlackRocks, and the State Streets and the Vanguards that control 80+% of world wealth.
Limiting a free press is just an extension of limiting free speech. Don't worry. The chief says we don't use knee to neck restraints. That's right. What's this? Oh, a woman who died from security. Oh, what's this? Leslie Sparks attacked?
You hit me first! You
said you were going to take my property! To be a citizen journalist in China.
I'm defending myself, brother!
Oh, good luck with that!
Ah! Get back! Get back! Call 911! Call 911!
This is what it's like to be a citizen journalist in China, and I hope that we end crimes of impunity against citizen journalists across the world, and give us back our weapons, please. This guy with a face full of pepper would never have done this. And it's not just citizen journalists that violence is on the rise, but also mainstream media false prophet journalists. Al Jazeera has been targeted by Israel for years. And of course, Toronto Police Association taking responsibility for the actions of their police. Specifically, we have said that our members are often blamed for the failures of others. Sure you are. Sure you are. That's a failure by others. Absolutely. At least the news will tell people that, right? At least the glotzy, proud news will tell people that, and the people will believe them because they are stupid.
Under arrest.
You dare to record?
Hey, record!
How dare you record? How dare you extend your speech? How dare you?
Spent the best years of my life serving my country, only to find out that my government really didn't have my best interest or the citizens that I raised my hand to serve's best interest in mind. So I feel a little...
Now this guy, he was inspired by other citizen journalists. And in this video, he threatens to take down the internet. So I hope that Toronto police start dealing with the realities of the world before it comes to idiots like this doing stupid stuff because the TV told them to. Go to my community. Here's the plans all laid out. Probably the best information-packed 2.5 hours about the Illuminati and global socialism. #Glossy. Toronto Police. The UN knows that it's the state that are hurting citizen journalists the most, and so they've made videos for you. I'll put it in the description. Toronto Police. Oh, there's a little update on I guess maybe one of my next projects. I'll be heading to the U.S. consulate, spreading the word of goddamn the homeless vets, hate not help, and to take section 504 or 502, I'll look at it again, of the Rehabilitation Act officially off the books because the VA is not enforcing it, so why bother? And join Leroy Truth's Army of Truth.
We have 1 million people who join the Army of Freedom, and all you do to create
Army of Freedom.
Change. I know you got busy lives. It takes such a minimal amount of time. 2 phone calls a week, you'll be provided with phone numbers. 2 emails a week, you'll be provided with email addresses as well as an email template. You can just copy and paste if you choose, or make your own, whatever you want. Also, bullet points for the phone call, and it'll have links to social media posts. So 2 phone calls a week, 2 emails a week, you send it to whoever we're focusing on, and 2 social media posts to change the trajectory of America. The politicians won't know what hit them, because they used to do
America and the world. You know I'll be writing letters for the Army of Freedom. You know I've been filing those 18241 and 242 reports with the FBI for crimes of impunity against citizen journalists committed by the state. I can't find a similar law in China to wonder why that is. Because the state would use violence on us for peaceful acts, I must peacefully invite state violence. I hope you've thought about the importance of public comment in this video and pressing your public figures, pressing your government. I hope you'll do something. Get hard and stand, citizens.